right, a big thank you to our amazing Patreons and also our sponsors, including Solely Designs and Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini. This is Peter from the Crowject podcast coming into you hot, live, and bothered as well for episode 297, where we have to dissect so much. We've got to go through our game against the Pies, where close but no cigar again. We launched our AFL women's season with a pre-season camp, which Kristin doesn't want me to talk about. We also had the fixture for the rest of the year as well, and we've had an extensive pre-roll as well. We've talked about all sorts of things, including workplace training, showdown stuff, smutty book chat, and also who's a shadow daddy. Now, it's not just me on tonight. I've also got my good friend and co-host as well, Kristin. Kristin, how are you?
I'm very good for a Tuesday night. What about you?
Same as well. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid, buddy. We've got to talk about this game. Now, we headed over to the MCG in a highly anticipated match against Collingwood, and unfortunately, we did not get the Trockies going down by 10 points against the mighty Pies. Now, Kristin, where do you think we lost it?
Playing over
field.
there?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't confident going in. I mean, the Pies kind of seem to own the MCG, and we seem to not. I think we've still got some demons out there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just kind of felt from the start like something wasn't right. I don't know what, but I don't know, the vibes felt off, and it kind of felt like it was just going to be a slog and they were just going to be able to get it done, which is kind of what happened.
Yes. With our long and fabled history of being able to beat the Pies at the MCG, I don't think we've won there since 2014 off the top of my head. And the last time we've beaten the Pies here as in Adelaide or in Melbourne was 2016. And since that point, draw and then loss, and then honourable losses left, right and centre. And that's how Saturday honestly felt like it was going. And that's how it ended up being. But I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks to myself, there was so much that we learned from the game, but also almost a rinse and repeat of how things have been for the last few years, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. It was very... Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Like, you kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened. So I think, yeah, it's hard to be really positive because we did, stick it out and it was close right to the end. But that's what we've done for the last, feels like 3 or 4 years, kind of against Collingwood. And we don't seem to, I guess, learn. So it is just that, like, back and forth kind of thing.
The back and forth. It's always a thing. It's devastating to a certain extent, but at the same time, there were so many missed opportunities. And speaking of missed opportunities, I want to talk about one, Isaac Rankin. Now, it was Sir Doug Nicholls round, and obviously celebrating our amazing Indigenous culture and the amazing Guernsey created with Graham Choncock's input too. But Isaac, he was due for a big one, I reckon, and he was looking to respond after last year's game where he ran too far. Unfortunately, his accuracy was off. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit disappointing. He started really hot, like that play where he ran through and stole the handball, and So I think we were expecting big things, and we sort of half got there. But yeah, I don't know, had a bit of the yips, I think, and
yeah,
I don't think we can blame it all on his accuracy.
No.
There's a lot of other factors. Obviously, that is quite contributing, but I'm sure he'll be fine back on Adelaide Oval turf this week in front of the goals.
Yes, in front of we're playing another bird-related team. God help us, which we'll get to later in the pod soon. But look, he had I can't remember how many. He had 4 clangers on here, so I assume that's some of his out of bounds work. But look, Um, conditions definitely didn't help, and I know that impacts on both teams too, but it absolutely pissed down at halftime. Shout out to Cam Mooney
Yeah.
for wearing a light grey pea coat during a deluge. Very brave man. Have you ever had any faux pas of wearing light grey in public when it's raining?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh God, it's always the way. But look, I want to talk. We need to talk about a little bit about the opposition as well. He comes back to haunt us, doesn't he? There's something about players that we let go that really have a bee in their bonnet against us. And I need to talk about one William Frampton.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if you check his pockets, he's still got Riley Tilthorpe in there, which is just, I don't know. How did you feel about seeing the blonde buzzard running around and just running amok on us?
Yeah, that was one thing that really didn't sit right with me is, we found out obviously early in the week, no Darcy Moore. So, we're
Mm.
all like, ha ha ha, it's just Billy Frampton back there. We'll be fine. So I don't know what happened there because for, knowing Billy Frampton, he wasn't the most athletic. So,
Mm.
Filthy should have been able to outrun him to get into position, but that didn't seem like that happened. And even if he had, Riley covered, we're still supposed to have Darcy and Tex as well. I
Yes.
know it wasn't the conditions for the tall guys, but they didn't seem to get up the ground or kind of move around and do things that would sort of normally get the ball in Ilthy's hands. And I don't know, I was quite shocked to see that he was kind of shut by old Bill.
Old Bill. That old Bill, he got us again. Why I order. Oh, man. And look, we were so close, and I really do feel like the evenness of that game was testament to, like, a lot of people are going to poo-poo us for the coaching side of things. I'm not sold on thinking that this is a issue with our current head coach per se.
Yeah.
I do think that there have been some changes that we've made for the off-field side of things that is helping Nixie a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we played a team who are top of the ladder and definitely in contention to go very deep into finals, as close as we did on their home ground in front of 60,000 plus fans, one of the biggest, home and away games for an interstate team as well. And plenty of our patrons and listeners as well would have gone over for this. But I'm not a fan of just, wanting to pot Nixie immediately. I'm still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for all of this, like there is a limitation on it, but
Yeah.
there are so many what ifs. I mean, we lost by 10. Did we lose by 70 plus? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Have the wheels fallen off? No. Things are still firmly on track. I think we need a bit of perspective on that.
Yeah, I feel like one of the other things as well is, yeah, obviously you kick more accurately, you win that game. So that's not a coaching issue. And the one thing that seems to always let us down that I don't seem to notice as much with other teams is when the ball drops in our forward line, even though we've got small forwards or small mid forwards, there doesn't seem to be anyone there to clean up the messes like there is with other teams. Like,
True.
to go, oh, it's not good to have three talls because it was raining. Well, I don't know if you've watched the Western Bulldogs, but Aaron Norton isn't really notorious for taking marks, but
Yes.
they still seem to be able to get the goals when the ball
Yeah.
hits the ground. So there's something there that I feel like we're lacking.
Lockie Murphy. Mate, just you watch. Just you watch. This week, Lockie Murphy's coming in. You know what? Wall of Promises. Where's that bloody thing? Wall of Promises. Lockie Murphy. In. Bang. All right. Thank you. Let's see if the other half doesn't take this down. the other ones. There we go. So legit, it's going to happen. I reckon it's going to happen. And,
Yeah.
just you watch, and yeah. Who knows? We might try to pick Billy Frampton as well, just for shits and giggles. Now, I don't know what else to think of this game, but I think we need to give a couple of shout outs to some of the better ones on our team. So I feel like it was a bit of a lopsided effort to a certain extent, and some players weren't able to sort of inject themselves into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of energy like in the game overall, not just like for us. I just felt like it was a very repetitive game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I think reflects on, I guess, a few of our players. I don't feel like we kicked the ball with the length and the movement that we normally would.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely feel like some of those guys that have been up and around it a lot more sort of weren't really there on the weekend.
Definitely.
It was nice to see like Dorse, I think, back to his best,
Oh yeah, definitely.
which is very promising.
Yeah, I think it's showing a lot that we are missing the Matt Crouch side of things. I think
Connection.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, that connection side of things. I mean, look, Isaac had a fair amount of inside 50s. Let me have a look here. He had 7 inside 50s. Wow, okay. Led the team there. So definitely playing that role. I want to give a shout out to Dan Curtin. Dude was brilliant, I reckon.
Yep.
And where we needed him to be. But look, a quiet one from Ben Keys as well.
Really quiet. Yeah, 7 disposed. Like, when was the last time he probably had like under 15? Would have been a fair while ago. And it was kind of like, I feel like for him, weather-wise, it should have been a good day.
Yes. Why is that?
Oh, just because he's like, he seems to run around and pick and clean up and things like that. But I don't know, maybe there was just something haunting him past times at the MCG.
Ooh, fair enough. Look, Sam Berry coming on for Walker as well, and there are rumours going around of Taylor Walker being rested for this week. Despite the fact last time he played West Coast, he kicked 10 goals. Yes. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. But
I think it was the year before.
There was a lot of Sex on Fire that was being played. It got a bit old near the end. I wish they just changed the song. Like just halfway through.
They should have sent the runner out text. Come on, man, we got another song.
Yeah, come on, can you pick something else? And you know what?
That's the only song I know because my name's in it.
You go to his spot. He's got Spotify Premium. He opens it up. Playlist, one song, Sex on Fire, and it's just on the constant loop. Like that's it. And his algorithm is locked down. Like it won't suggest anything that's like even close to Kings of Leon. It's just Kings of Leon. Like that's it. That is it. Oh my god. All right. Now, look, for the other team as well, if we could Will Hoskin-Elliott, I feel like he was being very burdensome on our forward line too. I'm really mad that Ben Keys at the very least didn't rip off Mason Cox's glasses and then crap his pants. Like, I just...
Yeah, I feel like Mason Cox deserved it again. I don't know why, just feel like he did.
This is no particular reason. Now, shall we get to some... we've got a voicemail as well. So we do have...
Exciting.
So if at any time you're feeling the need to just unload and just have a good old chat to, well, no one, but we'll listen to it eventually, give us a call at 82465498, and you can call us right now. You're on the couch. Just pull over and... 82465498. Now, let's get to this voicemail. I get the feeling I know who it might be.
Let's just put this in perspective. We were a bottom 4 side last year. Collingwood are probably the best team in the comp. As much as we've improved, we're still 6-4. We're in the pack. It's going to be fine. No need for alarm bells. We showed good fight, wet weather, umpires were shit. We missed a few set shots, but that's going to come. It's going to be fine. Let's just calm down. But fuck, I hate losing to Collingwood. Can we just get a win once?
Very true. Very true. Let's talk about the umpires. This is a great point that's brought up there. Umpiring. Okay. I went onto Instagram and I made some comments on 7AFL saying umpires had a mare.
Yep.
Now, I was not being specific to the Crows. I don't think in any game, and Swoop Luke, who's a friend of the pod, but a massive Pies fan, I made this comment on his post and I said the umpires had a shocking game for both sides. It was not officiated well. Miller got a free against him for handballing. He handballed. That's just a pure, and that's just one I think of off the top of my head. But there were moments in the game where even we got free kicks given to us, and you just like, that wasn't there. Like that, and that's the part that I get frustrated with umpiring. And I'd love to get your views on this too, Kristin, because it's just I don't care who it's against. I just want to see the umpires call a good game.
Yeah.
Call
Absolutely.
it fairly. Be consistent. Be just, there when needed, not there if not. Don't put yourself into the game. A lot of people pissed and moan about Razor Ray Chamberlain for saying, oh, he was big noting himself. He was a bloody good umpire. I thought he was great. Like, he was fair. Like, he just couldn't bounce the ball, so they got rid of him. And the poor umpires for the last 2 weeks have been absolutely put out for massacre, basically, by the AFL. Yeah, it's not their fault. What do you think?
No, I agree. And I think I can say that I've watched less football this year because of that. So not just our game, like it's frustrating watching it in our game, but I feel like, as a fan, you always think your team's hard done by. It was bad both ways for us, but then you just don't know what to expect anymore. And it makes it really hard to just watch the product as a neutral. Like I'm one of those people, I'll just put it on in the background, kind of pay attention to it or whatever. But now, like, I just haven't been bothering because I'm like, well, it's just actually just not enjoyable to watch because you don't know what they are and aren't going to call, and it's just frustrating.
That's very true. And that's the thing. Even listening to some of the radio calls, that sort of thing, and you just hear them. You're just like, even the commentators are just like, this is farcical. And I'll give an example. One of a friend of the pod, Zach from ESPN Arkansas, he actually stayed up to watch that game. And the messages I was getting from him, and it's 10:30 at night. He's slightly inebriated on a Friday night in the US, and he's like, how was that a free kick? What happened there? And I'm just like, I don't know. That dude missed, that sort of thing. And then he's starting to send me abusive messages as to why I'm not drinking Foster's when I went out with the Rainbow Crows people to explain to him Foster's is not a thing.
But no one does.
But this is a thing that I've harped on about. You can't sell a confusing sport. Okay? Simple as that. This is a confusing sport to try to sell. It is not. It is just being overcomplicated. And the AFL talks about, expanding into other markets, that sort of thing. For some reason, they've got this civil war against the NRL that, what's the point? Are you really, I think about, there's X amount of people coming into Australia, immigrating to Australia, and they're going to want to follow some sort of sport, that sort of thing, getting into it. What's a simpler sport to follow than NRL or AFL? Basketball, soccer. And they're fun to play socially. It's easy to get into those. So you're absolutely right, Kristin, about the spectacle side of things and engagement.
And going back to all those other sports, what's the one thing that the AFL doesn't have? Some kind of challenge system.
That's a great point.
It doesn't matter what it is. Pretty much any other sport in the world now has a challenge system. We've got goal review, but it doesn't.
That's self-initiated.
And it's not something that a team can initiate and go, okay, well, I think that hit the post. Like if the umpire doesn't think that something needs to be reviewed, it doesn't happen. So I think we have so many games that seem to come down to a one call, and then it's actually we should have called that apology 4 days later. Well, if we had a coach's challenge or a captain's challenge or something, and it's, I don't know, you get one a game or something like that, well, is that something that needs to be looked at to help the product? Because according to the AFL, it's as good as it's ever been, but when you listen to the fans, not so much.
And look, you know it's going to be sponsored. So if the challenge is going to be sponsored, who's it going to be sponsored by? What's a challenging brand or like that sort of thing? Oh God, I can't even think. I think a Challenge Bank back in the day, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah.
All right. The Dodge Challenger, that's discontinued. That's a challenge is not a good word. How about what about the Curious Coach? Sponsored by Meta. Gee whiz. All right, let's get to some of the feedback as well from our amazing listeners. So after every single game, we like to put up a post to sort of say where things are at and what's been happening, and also for you to give all of your feedback too, and just have a whinge, have a spray, or give us compliments or something.
Get it out.
Yeah, get it out. Yeah,
don't
get it
go to
out.
bed angry.
Yeah, go to bed. Yeah, don't. Yeah, give us a call. That sort of thing. Now, got quite a few comments on this one too. 65. Here we go. Yeah. Sorry, that's James Doddle Forbes McCann who's giving a spray as well. Now, we've got Brendan Willis. Happy with a 10-point loss, to be honest. They're an effing good team and we are slightly above average. That deserves a love react. Now, obviously, James Donald Forbes McCann gave a glorious rant on the Kill Tony podcast wearing his Go Crom beanie, which I put up on the socials as well. Nathan Lewis responding, it's like someone talking back to a cinema screen. He says here, your football history says it was invented in Victoria. Okay, but okay. Whatever, mate. Hugh Atkinson, about right when you missed 3 set shots in a row. We'll know we've arrived when we can flip that script. Until then, take heart from another close loss to the number 1 team. Fair. What else? Right in front of me. We weren't robbed. We robbed ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like losing your keys at home. Like, it's just, shit happens.
Yeah.
And what else we got here? Kyle Sharp says, the best thing about it is that they had 2 big outs and we can't effing do the job. Legit, we are a joke of the club and I hope there is a 100-year reunion for the only 2 flags we only win in 100 years. Wow. That's thank you, Kyle with an A. Jeez. What else we got? Kelsey Alex says, oh, Diddums. And Russell Blackwell, Pies Bunnies, which I think is fair. What else? Colleen Adam, who must be from Melbourne, says, please take the Grand Prix back. We can't afford it because we are broke because of Labor. Okay. And we've actually got a lot of bogans. I didn't really realise this. A lot of bogans have commented in this talking back to James Donald Forbes McCann.
Oh.
Like, Mike Petrovsky, who says, kiss my ass, you moron. Spelt moron with an A. Right.
Moran?
Anyway, yeah, no relation to Brad, I assume. Now, let's go over to Instagram stories. Simon_VG49 says, can we ever beat these see you next Tuesdays ever for F's sake? Nigel Johnson, it's okay. We beat the Pies last week, but boy, do I hate Victorians. Obviously talking about Port. Cade Burford, we didn't kick straight when we needed to. Very fair. Tyson Top Shelf, Rash is soft AF. I didn't think it was soft in that game.
No, I don't get that.
Yeah.
I mean, and even if that's kind of how you feel, I kind of think he's probably still a little bit tender.
He's a tender boy. He's a
I meant the
tender
rib
boy.
injury.
All right. Yeah, that too. Anthony Ashton at Bloodhound AU. I'm effing annoyed. Effing giving away 50s like that. Effing hell. Effing crows. And then another message afterwards. Also, F Port. I love that. Oh, man. And look, there were a few very stupid 50s we gave away. That's not helping us. Like, that's not. We're not going to be able to win anything or do anything if we're going to be doing crap like that. What else? On the main reel, we've got Alec Pies _films. He said, sorry, not sorry. He's one of our Pies fans that follows us. Chris Energy, who says, if you truly love South Australia, you must leave it forever. Okay, they're talking about the reel itself. Josh Borden says, third quarter killed us. Way too many easy shots missed. That's fair. I don't know why. V8 Nailgun says Frank Walker, national tiles. I don't know. And then a whole bunch of people saying James Donald Forbes McCann for Premier. I feel like Premier Pete's going to be in the job for as long as he'd like, you know.
Yep.
But it is the Labor Party. They get sick of each other eventually. So we are an apolitical podcast. We hate everyone equally. So any other thoughts of the game, or are we going to flush that one?
I don't think it's alarm bells time. I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I feel the same about it now I felt about it coming into it. I'm just a bit like, if we win, yay. If we don't, but if we lose this weekend, I'll be very mad. That'll be a different story.
Oh, yes. Yes, and we'll get to that one very, very soon. Now, we've got a few things that have happened. The SANFL didn't play on the weekend because we played against the Sand Gropers, as they're called, and we lost to them by a fair amount, I think. Jimmy Rowe playing in that game too.
Jimmy's revenge.
Yeah. Jimmy's revenge. But look, AFL women's game is heating up at present, and we had our very before the season sojourn to the Riverland, trying to skirt around, not calling it the other thing. But look, we had our man on the ground, Lockie Dan, as well. He took some fantastic photos and everything. First right up for the Murray Pioneer too, and yeah, it was good to see the girls are back on track, aren't they, Kristin?
Yes. Yep. No, it's good time of the year where we're getting close to having double footy weekends, which is very exciting. But no, it's nice to get the girls out there. Let's hope for a big pre-season and hopefully give a nice send-off to Clarko.
Hell yeah. Now, let's get to some of the news. Now, the fixtures come out, Kristin. Oh my God, the AFL have planned things for once, and we had two things that came out this week. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, but let me tell you, there's nothing better than Port having to go and lose by 90 points to the Western Bulldogs, and the AFL says enough. Don't send the other team there. They've got things to do. Oh, so finally the fixtures come out, but the thing that that was the prelude to that was that the AFL have said that the game against the Crows will play against Western Bulldogs has been moved from Mars Stadium, which is literally half under renovations, sorely needed renovations, let me tell you, but has moved to Marvel Stadium. Kristin, your thoughts on that one, mate?
I think it's good. It is nicer to be inside than freezing cold Ballarat. Yeah, no, I think it'll be good if it's that kind of time of the year. We'll hopefully be able to get a few more fans over and make some noise and get a win at Marvel Stadium.
Definitely against the Bulldogs and Luke Beveridge, which in the Patrons chat I made some comments about. Feel free to join up there, patreon.com/Crowject. We'll talk about that in Segment Street, that's for sure. But yeah, look, if we look at the rest of the fixture that has come out, we do have some Friday night games from memories. And the showdown has gone as a where is it? Yeah, it's a prime time at 7:40 on Saturday, July 26th. So we start off at the MCG against the mighty Richmond. Not really, but and then we have Melbourne that we're playing at home on the Sunday. So we have a 7-day break, and then we play, as we said, the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium, and then we have a run of home games, which is this is great to see. We play the Suns in the Dookie off on a Sunday at 4:10. Sexy new time.
I hate that time slot, but anyway.
That's shocking. Yeah, shocking. And then we have the the Crows home showdown. And then we play the Hawks as well. And that's another primetime game on Friday night. And then we go over to Perth to play the Eagles as well. I'm sure a friend of the pod and Patreon, Alex Barnett, is going to be cock-a-hoop about that one with even more signs that should be planning. And then to round things out, there is a game after this one that's still to be advised, but we play the Pies at home on a Saturday night. That's going to be a good one.
Huge. Yep.
Pies by 4.
Yeah.
What else can you say?
Yeah.
And the last game of the year is going to be
Day.
The Groundhog Day. Damn straight. And we play the Kangaroos, I think, is the last game, but that's still going to be a floating fixture too, because AFL can't make up their mind. Fantastic. Thoughts on the fixture itself? Did you feel like the AFL waited long enough to release that?
Oh, did we really need to wait that long? Like, I kind of get the last two games, the round 23 and 24. I'm okay with that. But yeah, can we kind of, I don't think we need to wait that long to do that anymore. Like, we're not worried about travel restrictions or anything like that. Let's just go back to pre-COVID and bring it all out at the start of the year, bar the last two rounds.
Remember the good old days?
Yes, I do.
We had a fixture.
And I used to be able to get it from the bank. I can fold it up and keep it in my pocket.
Oh, yes. And I remember going past a bank and seeing this old Beryl walking out, and she'd grab like 30 of them. And she was just handing it to people as she's walking out. And there were people like, thanks. Well, just in case you need to know. So that's happened. Thank God. There is going to be a lot that we're going to be talking about in Segment Street about the results, etc., around the grounds too, and comments of one Kano as well. But the other thing that I want to discuss very quickly, obviously, we've got our series on the Phil Walsh side of things. We've got some more interviewees that are going to be coming on for that. We had our first part of that where I interviewed the Just Lawful guys, and it's really a lot of fun, and really looking forward to putting this together as well. And myself and Layden are sizzling a few things. That's our review of each season. We've done our first one of that one, and that's coming along very well. Now, let's have a brief chat about the next game, because you're not going to believe it, Kristin, but West Coast are on a winning streak. That's right. They won. But
Still a streak.
It's a streak. Ross Lyon shitting the bed. It's nothing.
Name a more iconic duo.
Ross Lyon and crap in the bed.
Yeah.
In Perth. Yeah. Well, each of their own. But there's been a few things that have come up. I did see some news about Jeremy McGovern, I think.
Yeah, that's really sad. He has to have one of his concussion meetings. Yeah.
Poor guy. Look, the dude's an absolute stalwart. For his sake, and it doesn't matter who they are or what team they are, but I really hope that he's okay, because, that's a huge thing. And the dude, he trucked through that 2018 grand final, and really feel bad for him. And it's always good to be the better brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So he's the Steve to Mitch's Mark. That sort of thing. All right. Selections. What do you think's going to happen?
I feel like since I found out that it's going to rain on Saturday, I get a feeling we might have a few changes. I wouldn't, I don't think I'd be upset if we give Tex a week off. And maybe if there's any other niggling injuries or something, it might be the time to maybe, I don't know, experiment a little bit, so to speak. Yeah, I think just maybe a few ins and outs, freshen things up a bit. Let's not go in kind of set. I think they'll have a little bit of confidence. They actually did, like the Eagles did play really well.
Yeah, they did.
It was like one of those games where you kind of watch it and it's a little bit boring. It was good to watch. So they've got a pep in their step. So I think we need to be prepared for them to this classic football cliche. They're ready to play. So
yeah, the boys are ready. Oh, God.
We're all coming in to play our role.
It's going to be a 4-quarter effort. Oh, no. Okay. Look, I think Tex out. I think Keys out too. I want to see possibly Dowling in. Definitely want to see Sid Draper back. I'm thinking as well, just for the smirk, Schoenberg. Smirky Schoenberg. Have you seen his photo?
No.
He looks like the sort of guy that goes to the Minecraft movie and orders 7 boxes of popcorn and just says, I'm really hungry. You know? That's the sort of the smirk that this guy's got. It is fucking classic. And look, Jason on Instagram mentions this, put up a thing saying, we can talk about whatever you want. And he just puts a comment of Pedler and Draper in with Harry Schoenberg too. Okay. Curtin Walker and Keys out for this week's game against the Eagles and maybe longer. Oh, okay.
No, I think Dan's been good. That's a bit harsh on Dan, I reckon.
No, I agree. I don't think he dropped Dan at all.
Yeah.
Is he saying to drop Dan so he doesn't play good against his future side?
True. Yeah. Yeah. If they don't see him play, then they won't want him.
Exactly.
Brain move.
Yeah. Nixie's just there. He's just like, oh man, I know what to do. Murph comes in, it's just like, drop Curtin.
Just following him around.
Oh man. All right. Kristin, who wins how much and most meters gained?
Oh, most meters gained. Jeez. Most meters gained will be Jordan Dawson with, I don't know, 600. Is that good?
That is a number, yes.
Yep. And I'm going to go against my rule and I'm going to pick the Crows. And I think wet weather game, I know we'll win by 4 goals.
24. Okay. Lids off. We're going to go 60. You know what? I reckon most meters gained, it's going to be Rankin.
Yep.
In the guts.
I like
722.
722.
And maybe just behind will be a Shadow Daddy Peatling as well. Mm-hmm. So that's my second pick. Okay. Don't Google that, kids. Now, anything else to get off your chest, Kristin, before we head into Segment Street to talk about all the games and everything else?
No, I think my chest feels clear.
A clear chest.
Yeah.
A clear chest with a working man's Armani suit. So clear chest. There we go. Oh my God.
I'm full of optimism for Sunday. Let's go.
Oh, man. Now, big thank
Until
you to
team selection.
Exactly. I was about to say, team selection is just going to ruin things. Now, big thank you to our amazing patrons at patreon.com/Crowject as well. And head over to our big cartel page to get yourself Crom beanies, scarves, hats, all of the solely designed stuff too. And a big thank you to Sophie, who does an amazing job with all of that too. Big thank you to our patrons at patreon.com/Crowject. We're going to head straight into Segment Street. But Kristin, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me as always. It's always a lot of fun.
It was with a lot of fun. And my name's Peter. Go Crom. Or not. Go Crom? No.
Oh, sure.
Oh my God. Yes, you. Just say go Crom. Oh
Go
my
Crom.
God. Yeah.